Hello, everybody, and welcome back to NCAA 2004 and the Alabama Crimson Tide Dynasty once again. We return, carrying on after a brutal loss. It's our first loss since we lost to LSU towards the end of year number 8. Yeah, year number 8. So it's been a full season and about a half up to this point of games, at least, since we've last lost a football game. Can you believe that? Shockingly that it is in Tennessee. Normally, the only time we ever lose, if we lose, is to Tennessee, but LSU holds the title of our last loss, and now Arkansas holds it. So it was only a matter of time until we lost to one of these teams again at some point. Really, it was only a matter of time until we lost to Arkansas again, because after beating Arkansas so many times in consecutive years, they've really just been kind of building and burning up to the point of finally knocking us off, and they did just that. So our season kind of derailed here. We fall all the way down to number 9 in the country, which is kind of a steep fall. That would never happen in today's game, but it's fine. I mean, this is a 20-plus-year-old game, so I get it. I understand it. But our season doesn't get any easier as I thought it would by scheduling Nevada, but Nevada is actually really good, and I had no idea that they were really good. Last year they went 10-3. And just barely lost out on the WAC title to Fresno State, who, we should be familiar with by this point in the sim. But, Nevada is actually really good. They're actually a good football team. And they ended up winning the Silicon Valley Classic against Louisiana Tech in crushing fashion. It is Louisiana Tech, but, hey, they won a bowl game, okay? That's something we did, and they can do it too. So Nevada's become one of the better teams out of the WAC, out of the group of 5 or 6 or whatever now. And so we should be prepared here because we might run into an unstoppable wall. Who knows, man? Judging by the run time, we might not. But we're going to still treat it anyway. This needs to be a get-back-right game, even though we are on the road here in Nevada playing the Wolfpack. But hopefully things can go a little bit better as we already have a nice little pickup here. But it's already 3rd and 9 for the offense. And now Matthews is going to keep it himself and try and run straight up the gut. We haven't seen too many designed run plays, like dedicated run plays for Matthews. But again, it is something he is capable of doing. he does whip it out. So Nick still very clearly mad about the Arkansas game, so he keeps the boys on the field for 4th and 7. And Matthews cannot connect with, I couldn't tell what receiver that was, but either way, the ball's going to hit the grass safely, and now Nevada is going to take over on downs. And that is all that would happen in the first quarter. So clearly the struggles for the Crimson Tide team are still present as it takes a full quarter to get anything going here. Now we are well underway in the second quarter, and we're finally getting some offense here as Matthews is able to hit Broderick Black across the middle for a completion. Black hasn't been one of the stellar standouts so far in this season, but he's definitely done his share of things for us. So on a 3rd and 8 now, Nevada's defense is really applying the pressure here. Pressure almost actually got to Matthews on that play, and a pass to the back corner of the end zone to Andrew Solomon is going to fall incomplete. So really struggling offensively to keep any sort of momentum going consistently. And now we're going to bring out the kicking team to try and at least just grab 3 points. As Sick Naben sees that, clearly it's not going to be our day to play aggressive, and so he's just going to take the 3 points, and we managed to take a 3-0 lead over Nevada. But Nevada's offense still struggling to also find momentum of their own. It's just really their defense that's kind of been working. Matthews on the option play pitches it very late, and Nichols able to get the pitch and at least get the first down. Another very dangerous late pitch from Matthews. We've seen a couple of those so far this year, but thankfully we avoided disaster. Hopefully the disaster doesn't come later in the year. I don't think we could handle it. So we're going to go with Nichols on the ground. Now, Nichols bounces to the outside. He's got a little step here. A stiff arm is going to keep him on his feet, but he's going to get pushed out of bounds at about the 2 or 3 yard line after a very impressive pickup on the ground here. Was able to use the stiff arm and extend the play further. So we love to see that from Jameel Nichols. So on a 1st and goal here, Matthews is going to try and throw for it. Flips to the back of the end zone. I think that's Broderick Black once again getting his third touchdown of the season as Matthews has been able to find Broderick Black a little bit here. Again, yardage not like the biggest thing, but getting those touchdowns at the tight end has been working. So 10-0 is the score, and Nevada is now working their way towards our end zone with just over a minute left to go in the first half, but they're going to come up short. So on 4th and 2, they're going to go for a field goal, a very long field goal. This has to be over 50 yards. They're going to let some time burn off the clock before they try it, and they're going to go for a fake field goal, and the quarterback's going to try and run for it. He gets to the line to gain, but gets tackled, and they're going to say, I think, that he was short. As you can see, the chain gang start to move, and our guys are going to celebrate. So it certainly looked like from that angle that he might have gotten the first down, but they're going to say that he didn't. So we're going to take over on downs here, and after another first down, we've got good field position. So on 1st and 10, Matthews lobs one up here to Andrew Solomon, and that pass was nowhere in the same area code as Andrew Solomon. That pass was going absolutely nowhere where Andrew Solomon was on the field. So I'm very confused about the decision here from Stanford Matthews, because this is just absolutely just, I mean, that's an arm punt. I mean, really, but we didn't need an arm punt. There's 40 seconds left in the first half, and we're trying to get into the end zone. So, I mean, just a weird occurrence of things here. A bad decision from Matthews as he grabs his 6th interception of the season. But now finally we're going to get some Nevada action here. Neil Pearson, a first-team All-American, not just in the WAC, first-team All-American in the country, throws himself an interception here. That is just his 9th, or actually it's his 8th interception of the year, which is the weird thing, because last year he only had 8 interceptions, and now he's already matched that total from last year, and we're just a handful of games into the season. But on a 3rd and 2, Stanford Matthews still can't really find any sort of momentum in leading this offense, and he runs right into some pressure up the middle. That's going to bring up 4th and 6, and we're going to let the time probably tick away here before we call a timeout and try and send out the field goal unit once again for a little bit longer of a field goal. The kick is up now, and it is no good. So yeah, the longer field goal here in a little bit not exactly clear weather, so it makes it a little bit tougher of a field goal. And we're just going to hold on to a 10-0 lead. So, I mean, this is the 15th team in the country, but it is also Nevada. So, I mean, still, regardless of the roster. And it is an impressive roster. I'm going to give them the credit. We haven't talked about it because we haven't seen any of Nevada's offense so far in this game. But I'm still going to give them the credit. And now our offense is finally going to capture a little bit of lightning here as Matthews is able to get this one to Andrew Solomon. You know, a little too late here, but definitely not too late, as the game is still very much manageable. And we definitely still need to get the points. So, Matthews takes a running forward throw and gets it to Andrew Solomon, who's got more than enough speed, plenty of speed to get away from this Nevada secondary by at least a healthy margin. And Andrew Solomon's going to get his 8th touchdown already of the year, and that's going to definitely help out his yardage total, which is also already over 600. So on pace to have himself another career year in a Crimson Tide uniform, which is what we need. But now Nevada's going to answer back here with some offense of their own, as a huge pickup through the air is going to get Nevada now some pretty prime field positions. That's Cody Dunbar, the freshman, so one of the new receivers for Nevada, able to get a nice pickup for the Wolfpack here. And now Pearson through the air is going to find a wide open receiver once again. This time it's going to be Cody Dunbar once again. And now Pearson finally catching some lightning here for the Wolfpack offense. And he's been a very solid quarterback. He had over 4,000 yards last year and 31 touchdowns. He had a great year last year. So really not seeing a lot of that in this game, as that pass is incomplete on a 3rd down. And now Nevada's momentum is finally stalled out here on offense, and our defense has done exactly what they were supposed to. They've done their job trying to maintain the lead, but Nevada's in crunch time here. So on 4th and 10, they're going to keep the offense on the field. They don't want to try for the longer field goal, and that pass is incomplete. So Nevada, after starting to gain a little bit of traction here, it completely stalls out as that pass to Wendell Lott, Nevada's top receiver, is incomplete. So we're going to take over on downs. We've worked it back across midfield and are heading the other way. As Jameel Nichols able to pick up a 1st down to continue our drive, and Nevada's defense is now struggling a little bit more piece by piece to contain us. So on a 1st and 10 here, man goes in motion. Matthews is going to hand it off to Robbie Tanner, the fullback, and Tanner's going to break some guys with him as he falls forward for another Crimson Tide 1st down. So even Robbie Tanner's getting involved. So if we got to get it to the fullback to get some rushing yards, then we will do it. We will get it any way that we can get it. So 1st and 10 once again. Matthews back to pass once again. Clean pocket, releases, and finds an open man, and this time it is going to be, I always get confused between the two of them, but that is going to be either Hines or Van, one of the two. But on 2nd and goal here, Matthews back to pass once again. Pressure's on immediately, and he's able to get it off just barely in time. I have no idea how he got it off in time without being completely clobbered, but it's Darius Van who manages to make that catch, and it's Darius Van with the last 2 impressive catches for our offense. And Van has himself a 2nd touchdown on the year, if you can believe it. 2 touchdowns on the year. So Matthews kind of starting to spread things out a lot here. And now he's starting to air things out here as he finds Solomon down the seam once again. Hurdles over a defender, and he's into the end zone for another Crimson Tide touchdown. And just like that, the lead has completely blown itself wide open. I mean, I think the last touchdown probably blew it completely open. But this one definitely sweetens the deal by quite a bit, as another touchdown for the Crimson Tide is going to extend this lead now to 31-0. as Nevada's offense has done absolutely nothing of note this entire game. But now Pearson with an opportunity on a very long play to go, and he finds an open man who's just going to dive forward. He just wants to safely get into the end zone grass. He just wants points on the board for his team, and you can't blame him, man. You cannot blame him. And that's Cody Dunbar once again, the freshman, really doing pretty much everything for Nevada through the air, as Pearson has struggled to get the ball around to the rest of Nevada's playmakers. So one touchdown is all that the Wolfpack are going to muster up here. So we head on the road to the WAC and managed to win in crushing fashion. But it was a very odd and bizarre game. Nevada's defense certainly applied a lot more pressure than maybe we expected. And maybe this is indicative of some of the struggles that we've had earlier in the year. We've been playing in some tight games, and we haven't really seen a lot of explosivity from the offense in a lot of these games, which is weird to say because we've been scoring more than enough points. We've been doing more than enough on offense, but I guess it's just when you're watching these sims, you see how much we struggle and fight for every single point and every single yard, and you start to think that there might be some underlying issues with the offense. But we are still winning games. We are still putting up a lot of points, so it's just the weird sort of natural occurrence of how football is just kind of played, man. That's just kind of how it is. Nevada manages to score 7 points without ever visiting the red zone once. So you will lose games if you don't go to the red zone at least once. That shouldn't be a crazy statement, but, yeah. 288 yards for Stanford Matthews here, 4 touchdowns and that 1 interception. So we can kind of scrub the interception away here. Completion percentage over 60, so I'm not super upset about it. Jameel Nichols doesn't do a whole lot on the ground today. He's had a great season thus far, but not a great day here in Nevada. Andrew Solomon has himself quite the day on just 3 receptions, gets two touchdowns on 3 receptions. So you gotta love something like that. And then Dave Dennis, of course, misses the field goal, but we're not super upset about it because that was kind of a long field goal to expect him to make. So we're gonna move far ahead in the season, guys. Tennessee was bad this year, so there's no point to watch the game. We ended up beating them in crushing fashion. Mississippi State was bad. LSU was like at a decent spot, but they're bad. So we're just gonna watch Auburn because they're the only other game, I guess, to watch. I haven't shown the Iron Bowl in several seasons, so we'll watch the Iron Bowl, but Auburn's not good either. So I had to pick another game from the season to watch, but the whole SEC is really bad, guys. So I hope to see you guys back for the Iron Bowl, which we will hopefully win